What will the neighbours think? Now, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but back when I was small, that was something that my mother constantly drummed into me. What would the neighbours think? What would the neighbours think if they saw you doing that? What would the neighbours think if they saw you going around with a hole in your trousers? What would the neighbours think if you heard you saying that, or whatever it was? What would the neighbours think? And I used to be always kind of paranoid, thinking that I was, before the internet, before there was even mobile phones, I was always paranoid that there was people watching me. Those neighbours all over the place that were kind of with a wee notepad and pen, and they were writing down what I was doing to pass the information on to other neighbours, or maybe back to my mother. And as I was growing up, I always had that at the back of my head, worrying what other people would think of the actions that I was taking. And because of that, I didn't write fiction books as early as I did. I didn't create content like video content like this because I was worried, what will other people think? But when you think about it, like when you are worried about what other people think, or the neighbours think, or your friends think, or whatever, what you're doing is you are closing your life down into a little small box. You're keeping yourself in this little safe space where you're not going to draw attention to yourself. That the neighbours can't go, tut, 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 you shouldn't be doing that. And when you think about it, do you really want to live a safe life like that, worrying what other people are thinking about you, or would you like to live the life that you want to live? So that could be one thing that's maybe holding you back right now from recording videos or writing blog posts or doing something because you're afraid of what the neighbours will think. Now, do you really want to come to the end of your life, having this little safe life where you're in this little safe box where you didn't draw attention to yourself? Or would you rather look back on a life and say, something? I did what I wanted to do. Now, you will find that this kind of, what will the neighbours think? Your neighbours are probably as paranoid as you are, worrying what the other neighbours are thinking, or worrying what you're thinking. So you need to knock that idea out of your head. Now, it took me a while to do it, but if you kind of do things that get you out of your comfort zone, if you stop thinking, why should I worry about them? And think to yourself, this is the life I want to live. This is what I want to do. And if you don't like it, the hell with you. If you support me, well, then you're the type of person I should be hanging around. You're the type of neighbour that I want in my life. If you're kind of looking down on me, if you're tut-tutting, if you're just, putting me down or trying to keep me in a small space, screw you. So keep that in mind today. Forget what the neighbours think. Forget what your friends think. It's what you think. It's what you want to do with your life. You want to look back on this life saying, I've lived the life that I wanted to live. You don't look back and say, something, I played it small, I didn't draw attention to myself because I was worried what other people would think about me. They're not even thinking about you. So forget them and do what you want to do today. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.